This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. St. Anne's Bay businessman murdered. The St. Anne police are currently at a location on Top Road in St. Anne's Bay, where the body of businessman Patrick Lawrence was discovered this morning. Lawrence, otherwise called Larry, operated a guest house on Top Road where he also resided. The police, in confirming the incident, said it appears to be a case of murder, as Lawrence's head was bashed in and the blood was seen in an area about 20 feet from where the body was found. A drag mark was also seen, suggesting that the body was pulled to the location where it was found. The police are appealing to anyone with information to come forward. Jamaica enters a fifth wave of pandemic. Public health expert Dr. Alverston Bailey says Jamaica is now in the fifth wave of the coronavirus and that the authorities should seriously consider reintroducing some restrictions. The Ministry of Health yesterday reported that 336 new COVID cases were detected on Friday from 3,082 samples. The positivity rate is 30.3%. There has been a steady rise in cases over the past few weeks, and the Medical Association of Jamaica has raised alarm about the new surge. Speaking with the news last night, a public health expert, Dr. Alverston Bailey, said the daily positivity rate is a clear indication that the country is now experiencing a major jump in community spread of the virus. The positivity rate has an average of 21% for the past 7 days. This indicates that we are in the fifth surge. But because of the pathogenicity of the virus, the hospitalizations and the death rates are low. But the Omicron variant is vaccine evasive and highly transmissible. But some people, particularly the unvaccinated, are extremely vulnerable. In addition, Dr. Bailey believes that the government should review its mask mandate, among other things. On the weekend, the Jamaica Teachers Association reported an increase in clusters of COVID-19 cases among teachers and the students in public schools. It says the rising cases have forced some institutions to return to online classes as a precaution. NHD employees end protest action. Employees at the National Housing Trust have ended their strike action. The entity's nearly 900 non-management employees took industrial action on Friday to protest against the delay in wage negotiations and other terms and conditions of employment. In an interview with the news last night, third Vice President of the University and Allied Workers Union, Garfield Harvey, said the management of the NHT has agreed to resume wage negotiations with the union. The action has ended, and as we speak, I am responding to a letter from the trust. They confirmed that the Ministry of Finance will provide a response to a letter seeking guidance. The response will be by Wednesday, May 18, and they further proposed a meeting on May 24 to conclude the negotiations, Harvey stated. He added that the workers will return to work on Monday. JCTU president says recent protests were not politically motivated. President of the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions, Helen Davis White, has dismissed the claims in some quarters that the recent protests by government-paid employees were politically motivated. On Friday, opposition leader Mark Golding denounced the circulation of a fake WhatsApp conversation in which he was purportedly organizing the protest in conjunction with the trade unions under the umbrella of the JCTU. In an interview with the news last evening, Davis White dismissed the claim. So the notion that workers who are employed in a workplace and who are not employed based on their political affiliation would decide to come together to protest for political reasons, we are past those days in Jamaica. I don't think the administration believes it. I think there are persons who are out there who may form that opinion, but there is nothing further from the truth. Every person has a legitimate reason, she said. And the JCTU president says she expects the government to honor the agreements reached last week with the unions in order to avoid any further protest. We fully expect that whatever is agreed will be implemented, and we do not want to look down the road to find that any employer would disregard something that they agreed to. In the event that does happen, I believe the workers would come together to determine what is an appropriate course of action. Health Minister suggests a flexible contract option for nurses going overseas. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton is suggesting that nurses pursuing job opportunities overseas opt for a flexible contract which will allow them to continue working in Jamaica as well. I would like to see the day when a nurse can work in Miami for 3 months and come back to Jamaica and work for 2 months, and I am prepared as a minister to put a policy in place to lobby with the hospital in Miami or in England, where 130 nurses migrated to last year, and say to the UK government or to the hospital in Miami, give them a flexible contract, let them work up there and work down here because we need them and we know that you need them too, he said. Dr. Tufton was speaking during the International Nurses Day press briefing and the launch of National Nurses Week held at the Terra Nova All-Suite Hotel in St. Andrew on May 12. The minister contended that this and other flexible arrangements are and will have to be the future of health care. I would like to see the day, and we are working on it, where a nurse can study at the University Hospital of the West Indies in the classroom and go to a hospital in Miami to do clinical rotation. We collaborate around the training because the truth is there's a shortage everywhere, he argued. Dr. Tufton stressed that there is a bigger vision at play that will have to be worked out to retain Jamaica's healthcare workers, especially nurses. He reminded that the government is implementing a digital health information system to increase efficiency and building out the infrastructure of the island's hospitals and healthcare centers, which will improve the work environment for healthcare workers. What this is going to mean in principle is that we want to offer more people positions in the system, not contract positions, permanent positions, so that they work in a more predictable manner around hours of work, where they get time to do other things, including rest, and they have guarantees around job security. That is going to make a better, more efficient nurse healthcare worker, Tufton said. He added that we are building on the challenges of the coronavirus pandemic, and we are building for a better tomorrow and a more resilient health system, and you nurses are likely to be the biggest beneficiary, and rightfully so. Bunting wants policing demilitarized. Opposition spokesman on national security, Senator Peter Bunting, has condemned the report that members of the Jamaica Defense Force were seen beating civilians on 2 separate occasions, blaming the incidents on the militarization of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. 2 videos recently emerged online showing soldiers beating residents in Denham Town during altercations. In one video, a soldier is observed beating a man with his rifle, while the other video showed a soldier kicking a woman said to be pregnant. In recent days, we have had a number of incidents involving soldiers and the citizens that on the face of it appear to show soldiers responding unprofessionally and with excessive force to unarmed women, Senator Bunting argued. He added, there is no excuse for that behavior. However, I think those who placed them in that situation must also bear some of the responsibility. He was addressing the Caribbean Federation of Police Welfare Association's 10th anniversary general meeting held at the Ocean Coral Spring Hotel last Wednesday. Chairman of the Police Officers Association, Senior Superintendent of Police Wayne Cameron, said the militarization of the police force is a matter that the POA has been watching. I also want to bring to your attention another matter that was raised by Senator Bunting about the militarization of the police force. I wish to inform you that this is a matter that this Police Officers Association has raised with the Police Service Commission as recent as last year in a meeting. So it is not a matter that has missed us at all, and we are paying attention to that, SSP Cameron said. Bunting noted that soldiers should be used to back up police, but not as a replacement. Soldiers are not a replacement for police personnel. Soldiers can be used to support police, especially in the clear phase of a clear hold and build strategy, the former security minister said. Another observation I want to make is around the militarization of policing. We have seen that trend in many countries over the last couple of decades, even in the United States, particularly since 9/11. We have seen many towns and cities militarize the policing. He argued that police personnel equipped with less lethal weapons should be at the front line. During my time as a minister, with the help of our international partners, we supplied thousands of less lethal kits and training for those officers who received them. And these should be the personnel on the front lines in the communities. Give the resources to the police to do the job, the former security minister stated. Soldiers can support police but should not lead in prolonged community-type policing. Police personnel are more suitably trained and they should be equipped with less lethal options, pepper spray and batons, than just the M16 rifles. He also advocated for equity in the payment of benefits to the dependents of police officers, whether they die on the job or off the job. I don't know if this is still the case, but something I was working on towards the end of my term. There was a distinction in the death benefits between police personnel who were in service versus on duty. And I thought that was a real injustice because a constable is never really off duty. A police officer is never off duty. They see a crime being committed at any time. They could be vacationing at this very hotel. They would be obliged to respond. So I thought we should eliminate that restriction. The cost will be trivial, but it would certainly make a big difference to the families of the officer who passed on, Bunting said. SSP Cameron agreed with Bunting on the issue. The comments made by Senator Bunting in respect of police officers dying in service as against dying tragically, that's another matter we currently have in our grief proposal. And what we have asked for is whether the officer dies on duty or dies tragically, that playing field be level and one sum of money made available to their dependents, SSP Cameron said. The two-day conference held under the theme Leading the Change Through Innovation, Creativity and Re-engagement for the betterment of police officers across the region ended last Thursday. Delegates from 10 countries attended. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.